Shalom, shalom, and welcome, my brothers, my sisters, my family. If you are one who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father, the Almighty Yahuah, in the name of Yahusha Mashiach, I consider you my brother, my sister, my family. Welcome to the Inward Man. This is the 18th installment of the Inward Man, where I respond by presenting the things that are inside of me, things that are stirring within me at this moment in time. In this segment of the Inward Man, I want to bring your attention to plans, priorities, and the great puzzle. Plans, priorities, and the great puzzle. If you are new for the first time listening to this, my name is Symmanayah, and I am one who will forever find himself proclaiming the names of Yahuwah and Yahusha. For I indeed am compelled to believe that the rise of the 144,000, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Yashar'al, from each of the 12 tribes mentioned in Revelation 7 chapter, along with the great multitude, are being disciplined, prepared, and refined for the coming days ahead. I do not believe these things will happen in an instant, for we will be developed and fashioned according to the orders and instructions of the living Almighty One Yahuwah. With that said, let's get started on plans, priorities, and the great puzzle. I want to present to you a series of questions to ignite prayer and to ignite thought, to generate discussion. And here are the questions that I open this with, my brothers and sisters. Are there plans for our lives? Do end times reflect the plan the Most High Yahuah has for his children? Is discipline, refinement, a component of fulfilling plans? In structuring and awakening nations set apart towards the fulfillment of all that is promised and all that is written, the things that are written in scriptures, can we say that plans would be structured in such we will begin to see an awakening nation come to be? In other words, is structure an attribute of a plan? Is leadership necessary for establishing successful plans? Will there be times of purging in or coming away to move towards completing plans successfully? In other words, will there be things we have to throw out or come away from or push away from us, as well as embrace? Who is able to discern among us that with plans there come humbling times, times when things will not go our way, but we will find ourselves yielding to what is ordered by the Almighty Father? Are we not many members of a great awakening set-apart nation, those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuwah through his set-apart spirit sent in Yahusha's name? Consider these questions, my brothers and sisters. Let them be seeds of forging expectations. I want to submit to you that I am compelled to believe that there are qualifications, there are criteria that will prove to be necessary for the completion of the plan of the Most High Father, the plan that he has for his children, especially as it relates to these end times in the final Exodus. There will be a final Exodus before the physical return of Yahusha Mashiach. And there are things that we must prepare to do. There are things we must develop our minds so that we are disciplined and know how to respond. Let me read these verses to you, O Yasharal, verses that I read before. Isaiah 11:12, and he shall raise a banner for the nations and gather the outcasts of Yasharal and assemble the dispersed of Yehudah from the four corners of the earth. Does that sound like words of a plan? Indeed, it does. That was Isaiah 11:12. Isaiah 43:4 through 11 reads, since you were precious in my eyes, and you have been esteemed, and I have loved you, and I give men in your place and peoples for your life. Do not fear, for I am with you. I shall bring your seed from the east and gather you from the west. I shall say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth, all those who are called by my name, whom I have created, formed, even made for my esteem. He shall bring out a blind people who have eyes, and deaf ones who have ears. All nations shall be assembled, and the peoples be gathered. Who among them declares this, and show us former events? Let him give their witness to be declared right, or let them hear and say, it is true. You are my witness, declares Yahuwah, and my servant whom I have chosen, so that you know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there is no Almighty One formed, nor after me there is none. I, Yahuwah, and besides me there is no Savior. Know this, my brothers and sisters. There are those who have been chosen, who have been called, who have been selected by the Almighty Father to fulfill a promise that he have made since the dawn of the ages, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Yashar'al, an inheritance, a promised land that we will return to. Plans, my brothers and sisters, plans. These words describe a plan. Ezekiel chapter 20. What I just read was Isaiah 43, 4 through 11. What I'm going to read now is Ezekiel chapter 20, verses 33 through 38. Ezekiel chapter 20, verses 33 through 38. As I live, declares the Master Yahuwah, do not I, with a mighty hand, with an outstretched arm, and with wrath poured out, reign over you? And I shall bring you out from the peoples and gather you out from the lands where you are scattered, with a mighty hand and with an outstretched arm and with wrath poured out. And I shall bring you into the wilderness of the peoples, and shall enter into judgment with you face to face there. As I entered into judgment with your fathers in the wilderness in the lands of Mizraim, some version will say Egypt, so shall I enter into judgment with you, declares the Master Yahuwah. And I shall make you pass under the rod, and shall bring you into the bond of the covenant, and purge the rebels from among you, and those who transgress against me. From the land where they sojourn, I bring them out, but they shall not come into the land of Yasharal, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah. Does that sound like words of a plan? Plans have details, my brothers and sisters. Plans require movement. Plans require listening. Plans require speaking. Plans that the Most High have for each of us require speaking and testifying of such plans, discerning what he has for each of us. Plans. I wanted you to also visit, my brothers and sisters, the 12th chapter of Romans, the 12th chapter of 1 Corinthians, in other words, 1 Corinthians 12th chapter, and Ephesians 4th chapter. Each of these chapters talk about the different gifts and callings, my brothers and sisters. There are many members. We will be fitly joined together in unity, those who are drawn by the Almighty Father to fulfill his words, his plan, to echo to the world that a set-apart nation exists. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, we will grow to understand our position, our purpose as it relates to the Most High Father's plan for our lives. We will grow to discern and witness, establishing priorities. We will know that priorities mean some things take precedence over others. In other words, some things will prove to be more important than others. Some people may prove to be more important than others. Some tasks may prove to be more important than the others. Priorities. And as we make our decisions, we will find that we will change the way we make decisions. We will change the way we establish and identify what takes precedence, what's most important. There is only one Almighty One. Yes, Yahuwah is his name. My brothers and sisters, though many may not take under consideration the number of set-apart children who will make up the final remnant, I submit to you that I am compelled to believe it will be in the millions, possibly tens of millions. Now, many among us have not given thought to what the size of that number that would represent a remnant. And I have echoed this on many occasions, that in my prayer, in my inquiry to the Most High, it was as though the Spirit of Yahusha revealed to me that a remnant could indeed be tens of millions. And being unclear, when we seek to discern the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha, it's a struggle because the flesh war against. Doubt tried to seep in. But mainly he was letting me know that it would be a mass number, a great number. And it can be a great number. If you take tens of millions of people compared to roughly over 7.2 billion people on this planet, that's still a remnant. That's still less than 1%, a fraction of the world's population. I say to you, my brothers and sisters, we have much work to do. There are plans, living plans. There are priorities that we will grow to understand that must be adhered to. The great puzzle. The great puzzle is taking every little piece, every big piece, every anointed piece of the Most High Father and witnessing it come together, witnessing our gathering, my brothers and sisters, in unity, in love, in strength, in fortitude. I have stated often that extreme conditions and cataclysmic situations will emerge during end times that will result in the humbling of a people who will be known in the future as the children of obedience, obedient to the Almighty Father Yahuah, as directed by his set-apart spirit, sent in Yahusha's name. Though there will be many, it would still be a remnant, but that remnant will prove to be large in numbers. There's much work to do, O Yashar'al. Hear these words. The great puzzle, many members with many shapes, forms, many individuals from many different races, each of us with one thing in common, brought to life, brought into a family of living individuals who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuah, brought together by Yahusha HaMashiach, strengthened by the set-apart power of the Most High. Many members, just as one could say it would be as a great puzzle, but not impossible to bring together in unity. And in that unity, the world will witness the true picture of the set-apart children of the Most High Father, who walk and march in obedience, who are disciplined and refined according to his words, who demonstrate all that is necessary to reflect what is set apart. Time will soon prove that we will not be stalled, stopped, or diverted from fulfilling what is planned for our lives as children of the Most High Father. His plans are unfolding, O Yashar'al, and we will witness success as it is written in the scriptures. Gird up, my brothers and sisters. Strengthen the loins that you have. Let us open our eyes and ears and prepare to make strong and sincere decisions. Let us choose wisely and walk in wisdom towards those that are without. The coming together of an awakening nation has begun, and it will magnify, and we will begin to see the numbers enlarging. Let me ask you this, my brothers and sisters. I have stated before in times past how I believe that something phenomenal, something extraordinary will cause fire to blaze on the western part of the United States that will begin forced movement, forced migrations. If and only if I am a servant of the Most High who is discerning what I believe he has shown to me, let us keep our eyes open, for a time will come when we will obey the Most High and begin to come together. Being gathered from the four corners of the earth requires a process, a method. And because we are so stubborn, so bullheaded, so hard-headed, because the flesh even war against the spirit, the Most High knows exactly what it takes. And some of us will begin to move towards the designated places, discerning his word and believing him quicker than others. Just as we have seen the examples of first fruits that ripen quicker than others. And there will be some that will not catch on or get it to the last minute. And there will be some that will be caught in the thickness of emergency situations, cataclysmic situations. My brothers and sisters, I submit to you, the Most High have plans. There are priorities that exist. The great puzzle will come together. The puzzle being the banner of Yashar'al, the people of Yahuah set apart in Yahusha's name. Be encouraged, my brothers and sisters. The Almighty One Father, Yahuah, knows our hearts and minds. He knows the very intent of each of us. And our redemption truly draws near. Until next time, I pray that each of us establish a ready mind to discern what the Spirit of Yahuah is saying to us directly, one towards another, and through his chosen leaders and messengers. This is real, my brothers and sisters. And in times, our final days of being scattered will soon come to an end, sooner than many realize. Until next time, my name is Symmanayah, and I bid you shalom. Shalom, shalom.